Hey y'all, have you ever seen such a mess of rock and roll? This will be the first part of a little series on music cards. I've got a pretty good collection. I really love collecting them, and I've just recently found out about a bunch that I didn't know existed, like the ones I ordered 3 packs. These are Argentina cards from 1997, Figus. They also made some, I believe, in 94 that are much harder to get. They're hard to get out in really good condition because of the bricking that we're all familiar with. And in here you get, I guess, two, I'm not sure. I think you get 2 cards and 2 stickers. No, wait, up here. Here we go. 3 cards and 3 stickers. And they're not all Kiss. The lot I ordered was all Kiss on the cover, but there are different bands and at least half a dozen different bands, I believe. But those were from the 90s. Let's go back. The oldest that I've been able to get is from a set that was released only in the United Kingdom by Polydor Records in 1975. They're mini cards, and I've only got the one. I've seen the Jeff Beck. I've seen Eric Clapton, and they're both around $20. This Dwayne Allman cost me 10. Of course, Dwayne Allman is my favorite guitar player, and the Allman Brothers, one of my favorite bands. You'll notice I will focus on the ones that are the music I like, which is widely varied, as you'll see. Yeah, I like metal and blues rock, classic rock, uh, progressive rock, a little bit of everything. But that 75 is the earliest rock and roll cards I've seen, other than, like, I believe they had a set of Elvis cards. They had probably right around that same time, the first Kiss cards that everybody knows about, right? You had some as a kid, I bet. I know I did. Mm. But I'm really looking at the mixed artist sets that came out, like these rock cards. These are 1991 Brockham rock cards, and these are some of the more common music cards you'll see on the market. That's what the John Bon Jovi here. He's got a little dust on it. We've only been laying out there a few minutes. Wow. Warrior Soul, and it's a pretty good sized set. Uh, there's about 300 or 400 cards, I believe, that make up the set. And they do have insert cards. The Stevie Ray Vaughan back there is one of the rock cards. And these are the packs. We'll open a couple of those along with the Argentina cards. We're going to do that in this video as an introduction to the music cards. Now, we've also got, from back in that time period, Pro Set put out a couple of sets. And I believe it was 93, 94, maybe something like that. Pro Set Superstar music cards. And this is one of the legend cards, Jimi Hendrix. There's something really wrong with this picture. And there's quite a few in the Pro Set set that have the same issue. And I wonder if y'all know what it is. Here's another Jimi Hendrix for reference. It should be kind of obvious. Pro Set must not have realized Jimi Hendrix is a left-handed guitar player. And that's a reverse negative. Oh well, it's still Jimmy. Then we have some of the newer cards. that have come out. From the Metal Universe set back in 21, just so happens one of my favorite guitar players going right now is this guy, Derek Trucks. He played with the Allman Brothers Band for 15 years. And yes, this is a numbered, speckled mini diamonds, as you can see. I've got almost a rainbow of them. I just can't afford the pink gem, well, whatever they call it, PKG or something like that they make. And I cannot afford his autograph, which I have plenty of his autographs that were given to me in person, but I cannot afford the card that matches his wife and bandmate's card, which I did get a copy of. The Tedeschi Trucks Band has, I believe, 3 Grammys in blues, rock, or blues category. They're one of the best bands you could possibly see on tour right now. If you're into the 70s style blues rock and stuff, definitely want to check them out. Slide guitar players that's ever lived, continuing the tradition of Duane Allman. And just for art, he was a prodigy for one, and his uncle is Butch Trucks, the drummer of the Allman Brothers Band. And his little brother Duane is a drummer for Widespread Panic, who is also named after Duane Allman, actually. So they're all part of a big Allman Brothers family. And they're continuing the music, the tradition. And then we have some of the newest things I've discovered are these art sketch cards. You know, they're unlicensed and whatnot. People just sell them on eBay, but this guy is really good. Edward Vela. I would highly recommend checking his work out. He does not just musicians, but all sorts of celebrities, sports celebrities. Just for example, here's Brock Purdy. And I picked this up. I think I got it at auction. They start their auctions anywhere from $1.99 to $4.99. I believe I got this one for $2.99 in postage. And what's really cool is that he does series. For example, this is Duane Allman number 4. There's a 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. He's done a few Brock Purdy's. This is number 4. There's only 50 of each number produced and signed. And once they're gone, the value starts to go up. People are actually trying to put these sets together, and as more people try to look for them, well, there's only 50 to get, and it might have been, he's been doing this for over 10 years. So those early numbers can be a little high. For example, I've got some of his Jerry Garcia cards that I'll show in a future video. And he's done 37 of them. And the early ones would cost me about $20 a piece to get. I'll probably never see that on my budget. Luckily, I got into Duane Allman early enough that I've been able to put together, I think he has 7 of them now. I need a couple more and I'll have all 7 of those. And that's a basic rundown of what cards I'm talking about. Like I mentioned, the Goodwin Champions, there's also quite a few musicians here and there that end up showing up with Allen and Ginter. There's one of the brothers Osborne. They're a pretty good country blues rock band, kind of crossing over a little more country than I typically care for, but I do like some of their tracks are really cool. And instead of putting in clips and having copyright strikes and all, I'll just link some videos up above as I talk about these bands. And if you're so inclined to listen to them, and I recommend you do, because if they weren't any good, I wouldn't be listening to them. And probably most of them you're familiar with. I went through uh, and picked out some of my favorites. Let's see, of the rock cards that I've opened. Oh, wait. And in 1992, I believe, they released, I believe these were never released in packs or as singles. And they're extremely large sets. They're called J2 music cards. And I believe they were sold only as sets. There's, I believe, two. I'm not positive about this. I'm still researching them. I believe there were two different series, and both series were around 1,000 cards apiece. But they're available as singles. Now some of these, oh, these are some of the black and whites I got. You got the Jimmy. They have really great pictures. I mean, of all the cards, there's Neil Peart on his drums for Rush. One of my favorite all-time bands. Yay, Canada. There he is again, about a decade later. There's Greg Allman. Phil Lino of Thin Lizzy fame, one of the best bass players ever. There is Terry Kath, who wrote the masterpiece guitar solo in 25 or 6 to 4, guitar player for Chicago. We got the greatest guitar player of all time, the GOAT, Mr. Jeff Beck. Rest in peace, buddy. You'll never be matched in many ways. You got Tony Iommi, Black Sabbath, sitting in a bathtub with the sitar with the evil look on his face, and you can only guess why. Don't know, but it looks like he's having a lot of fun with that sitar. Geddy Lee. Now, he's probably the greatest bass player of all time, since I'm looking at his picture and not Phil Lynot's right now, but you know. Rush, of course. Mr. Tom Petty, the great American songwriter. Another sort of southern rocker. Died too young as well. The always great Neil Young, another of Canada's treasures. One of my favorites. Ian Anderson, holding a guitar, which he played guitar, but it was not very often. Most of you know the flute was his thing. And there's the guy who flies, Mr. Eddie Van Halen. And these are special insert cards. The purple border black and whites are always, well, I say insert, and I just got finished telling you they didn't sell them in packs. So this was just a smaller set included with the main set, or something like that. I don't know how it worked, but I know they have a ton of information on the back about all the albums, their full discography, what band they played with, when they were born. What I don't see is a card number anywhere. So it's one of those type sets. And that Ian Anderson is badly off center or something. No, it's just a wider blue box with narrower borders. See, whole different type printing thing, but they look nice. I really like these. And it is not cheap for a set, but I can get the singles I want at just a few dollars a piece. So that's cool. In 1991, Impel, who did Star Trek cards and quite a few other non-sports cards, released a set called Mega Metal, which covered about six or seven different bands, and they had a bunch of cards of each band, including Iron Maiden was one of them. Here's a couple of the Iron Maiden cards, and they all had this same Mega Metal logo and the same look on the back. I like they included the art cards for the Iron Maiden albums. That was cool. And that's one thing about these broken cards. They have art cards as well, or stickers, and that's some of the inserts in the rock cards. Now they also have one of my favorite sets from a set of music cards, and I've got quite a few of these already, but I'll take all I can get. The rock cards here, you can pull these gold border Grateful Dead insert cards, a 10 card insert set. And for example, the Jerry Garcia, and I've got a bunch of these, and I'm trying to get more so I can find the absolute best looking one and submit it to PSA. A PSA 10 Jerry Garcia is about $200 or $300 card. These are really good cards to get slabbed, if you can find one worth slabbing. Now you see these coming fresh out of the pack. They look gorgeous. These pastel colors. You gotta wipe the dust off of them, and you just gotta check them for bad spots. That's just in the picture. Those are actually reflections off the microphone and his jewelry. And they have the hologram back here. Sometimes those will be a little patchy, so you'd have to watch that. But I mean, these are really sharp looking cards. They didn't have too bad of a centering issue. I've never seen any that were really off center that were noticeable. They had better quality control than any of our current card companies do. So, and then when you go back to these, since these are there's cards from Sweden in the 70s that were made that I have yet to get any of. Argentina and Chile. This is Argentina. It's where these Figus, I'm not sure I'm saying that right. That's where these are from. And like I said, they're kind of hard to get without the bricking or in good shape. Let's open a pack and see how it goes. I wonder what the best way to open these is. Well, there we go. There is a spot to tear. Okay. See if we can. Oh, now look. See? This is exactly what the problem is. You got to peel that off and it leaves all the stuff off the wrapper on the card. And it's a Mick Jagger card. So that makes it really hard. And look, it's going to do it on the front one too, because that's also the back of a card. It makes it really hard to get a PSA 10 on a card. I mean, you really, I don't think you can get one. I've seen some of these. There was none of this black stuff on the back. Oh man, it's Wurzel from Motorhead. Weasel. Wurzel. And you can see the spotting on the front. Just, printing not being up to par, I guess. But these are pretty hard to come by in any kind of decent shape. Yeah, that's a bummer. Well, you do get the one in the middle, but that is a lyrics card or something. See what Mick Jagger, oh Lord, look how bad that is. Wow. I wonder if any of that will clean off. Man, see, that'd be a very cool, very nice card if it was centered, didn't have spots all over it, didn't have black crap all over it, and was a PSA 10. That would be $1,000 card, maybe. That's how hard these are to get in any decent shape. PSA 8 would probably be $100 card. See, it's even peeling off the sticker. Rock set, crash, boom, bang. It's got the lyrics to the song on the back. And then we got the stickers. Pito Paez, I don't know who that is. Nothing on the back. Not a clue who that guy is. I know these guys. That might be a pretty good one right there. That's in good shape. No, that corner might have a little problem. It's got a little extra space on the backing there. But that's a pretty nice card. It needs to go in a sleeve. We got another guy, I don't know who he is. So apparently they have the Argentinian, South American artists in there as well, at least on the stickers. But yeah, I mean, that's not a bad looking one if you look at that one. Jeez, Mick. Man, I don't know. I see why they're only $3 a pack. There it is. The last corner I try, of course. Wow. It's like it's glued down to the card. Wow. I was just wondering how it would work if I just peeled it real quick, and that does seem to have worked better. But I don't know who that guy is. That's that guy that was on that sticker. Figures one of the better looking cards I'll get. And then there's the same. So you probably get the same card in every. Oh, geez, look, it's the same freaking pack, except for the end cards. Green Day. That one's off center. Bad. A little curved up. And that guy again. And Wurzel again. Much better front. Man, that thing's perfect. Too bad that's not. That's about how most of them I saw on eBay look. I don't know how they get ones that don't have anything on them, and they're sticky. I need to keep them off each other until I can, I don't know, I'm going to try to do something there. See if I can use, we used to use pantyhose to clean wax off the back of cards or the front of cards or wherever the wax would be. You couldn't get rid of the stain, but you could get rid of the excess wax. So you didn't have that floating around your card collection. So I'm thinking about trying that little trick on these. See if maybe I can take some of that stuff off of them. Well, that is neat. This feels thicker. Huh. I don't want to use scissors because there's hardly any edge to this. I'd end up cutting one of the cards or the whole stack. Might have done better. Well, maybe not. Let's see about ordering some more. No, I'm broke. I can't order anything. Stop saying that. Jeez. But they're only $3. No, I'm broke. Stop. Okay. See what we got here. I thought it was Mick Jagger at first, but no, don't know that guy. This Love Pantera. Okay, so we do get different album covers and lyrics. And then we got a, come on, don't stick. Not a bad Paul Stanley. Not bad at all. And the back is great because it wasn't to go up against the, see, even not even up against it, it still has some of that black crap on it. That's the best one in the of the 3 packs. Andre Kisser. I have no idea who he is. Oh, Aerosmith. Okay. Ooh, check that out. Steve Harris. Sticker. Dude, I like that now. That is really nice. I mean, there's not a flaw on that as far as the surface. A little thin on the right. A little thick on the bottom, maybe. But it's nice. Gee. Well, see if I can clean some of these. That Wurzel ain't too bad. Neither one of the Wurzels are that bad on the front. The back's terrible on one and almost terrible on the other. Mick, man, what happened? Why couldn't you look like the Paul Stanley looks? And I don't know who you are. You can go away. You and this guy, I don't know you. Roxette, I don't care about you. But Mick, Paul Stanley, Paul looks pretty dang clean. That's sweet right there now. Mick. It looks awful. Alright, what are these? We got Steve Harris, Aerosmith. Don't know that guy. Don't know that guy. A little bit beat up, quite off center Green Day. Still don't know that guy, or that guy, or that guy. This one, that one's pretty bad off center as well. It's kind of hard to say which one's better. I'd say probably this one right here, actually. It doesn't have the off center backing. Huh. Well, cool. I've never opened 30-year-old cards from Argentina before. Now I have. Well, let's see what we can get out of the rock cards. Because I know these will be in great shape. Beautiful condition. Cool wrappers too. I mean, like, we're not just going to go a little bit full, but the whole thing is full. Want to search that pack? Good luck. Mickey Hart. There's one of the Grateful Dead legacy cards. Gold border. It's a good one. And then right underneath it is our sticker. We get a sticker in every pack. We got Oxidation of the Nations. I got a list from Maiden so I can fill it for him. Because I've already got a complete set of the cards and he needs a few. We got Megadeth, Nick Menza. One of my favorite bands at one time. Still love them, just don't listen to them often. What is that? Bon Jovi? I know a lot of people like Bon Jovi. Never one of my favorites. He's got some good radio songs. Skid Row, not my bag of tea. Junkyard. Exodus, that's more like it. That was back in the day, the early 80s. And what are these guys? Sisters of Mercy. Nope. And Anthrax. One of my all-time favorites. Still love those guys. Testament. Seen them guys open for Megadeth and Anthrax and all of them. All three of them bands I saw together. I cannot tell you how many times. And the always incredible Pink Floyd. Warrant. There is Nick Menza again. Slaughter. Again, Slaughter, Cinderella. Hair metal. Not really my thing. I was a thrash metal or a classic metal style person. Didn't care for the artsy emo metal or whatever you call them. Nah, straightforward classic rock's the best. Bands like Rush. And what we got here? We got a sticker. Oh. Reach from the Pink Dimension. What is that from? Can't remember the band that's from. Oh well. Somebody will know. And we got Kathmandu. I don't even know who that is. Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi. Brian Johnson. Second best AC/DC singer ever. Yeah, I prefer Bon Scott. Salty Dog. Don't know them. Another Bon Jovi. That's a Bon Jovi pack, man. We do get the bass player from Testament. And Skid Row. Hey, there's my guys. Deep Purple is one of my favorite all-time bands. I like them the best of the British invasion. The second British invasion, I guess they called it. Led Zeppelin. Nah, I prefer Deep Purple. Pink Floyd. Nah, give me Purple. Exodus. Again, great band. Snotley Screw. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you like them? I don't. Swart and more junkyard. Well, there's your sampling of music cards from across the years. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And next time, we're going to focus on one thing: opening the rest of that box. Should be 30 packs left, I believe, or 31, because the rest are right here, plus the ones we just opened. So, we'll see what we can do. See if I can get a few more to go through and compare and get me some nice hot high grades from PSA when I make a submission, which I plan to do, because I do want to get some of these graded and see what they come out, especially these broken, because they look so good. Well, guys, like, subscribe, make sure you catch the next episode, and leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Have a good one.